Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're going to completely transform the way you look at the humble earthworm. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of vermiculture, exploring exactly how an ancient biological process is being utilized today to solve some of our most pressing modern waste problems. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The soil's hidden intestines. Unlocking nature's biological marvel. So, what exactly is nature's ultimate bioreactor? We often think of earthworms as just, slimy garden dwellers, right? But we really need to reframe them as the absolute unsung heroes of our ecosystem. Take a second and just reimagine the incredible, unseen processing power that's hidden right beneath our feet in the dirt. It's literally a biological engine that has been running silently for millennia.
Get this. Ancient civilizations, specifically in Egypt and Greece, understood this hidden power so well that they used this exact phrase to describe them: the intestines of the soil. It lends an immediate sense of awe to their biological function, doesn't it? Even ancient texts like the Vedas noted the absolutely crucial role of the earthworm.
Section 2. The Science of Living Alchemy. Demystifying the Magic.
All right, let's take that ancient reverence and break it down with some modern biology. Vermiculture is the intentional cultivation or artificial rearing of worms to decompose organic food wastes into a nutrient-rich material called vermicompost. So the crucial point here is the word intentional. This isn't just worms doing their normal thing out in the wild. This is a deliberate, scientific cultivation process actively used in farms and gardens to dramatically accelerate natural decomposition.
Okay, so how does this living alchemy actually work in practice? It's basically a three-step process. First, decaying organic waste is consumed by the worms. Second, and honestly this is where the magic happens, during digestion, highly beneficial microbes from the worm's gut are transferred directly into the material. Finally, step 3, they excrete what we call castings.
Because of this incredibly efficient digestive process, these worms are essentially acting as natural bioreactors. They're significantly upgrading the value of basic decaying food scraps, manure, and agricultural waste. They literally take low-value waste and biologically upgrade it into something incredibly valuable.
And the results of that biological upgrade? Absolutely profound. The final product, vermicompost, isn't just regular dirt. No way. It's a high-quality organic fertilizer absolutely packed with plant growth-promoting substances. It supplies necessary mineral nutrients, visibly improves soil health, increases water retention, sustains plant growth over time, and, best of all, serves as a completely eco-friendly way to manage our waste. Section 3. Feeding the natural bioreactor. Fueling the living machine.
Now, what's really interesting here is that just like any complex machine, this biological engine needs very specific fuel to run effectively without breaking down. There's a really strict boundary between what works and what doesn't. We have a massive variety of accepted fuels: cattle dung, farm and crop residue, vegetable, fruit and flower market waste, agro-industrial waste, and just general biodegradable wastes. But then you have the system breakers. Pig, poultry, and goat dung are strictly excluded. If you want this bioreactor to function, you absolutely have to follow its biological rules.
Section 4. A forgotten ancient history, from reverence to obscurity. So, how did this incredibly powerful biological tool, once so deeply revered, almost get entirely lost to history? Well, before the 19th century, civilizations like Egypt and Greece valued the earthworm highly. Moving into the 19th century, the legendary Charles Darwin actually dedicated an astonishing 39 years to studying worms. He ultimately concluded they play a massive role in overall soil health. But then, in the early 20th century, the practice dramatically declines. Why? Because of the Industrial Revolution and the massive rise of artificial chemical fertilizers. We essentially swapped out natural biology for chemistry.
Section 5. The Modern Vermiculture Revolution. The Return of the Worm.
Thankfully, our story doesn't just end in the early 20th century. Fast forward to the 1970s, and a single biology teacher named Mary Appelhof made a spectacular science-backed comeback for this ancient practice. She essentially resurrected this science by converting everyday kitchen waste into worm compost using a very specific species, the red earthworm, scientifically known as Eisenia foetida. She developed highly successful indoor and outdoor systems. And in 1982, she published a book with what is just a brilliantly blunt title, Worms Eat My Garbage. I mean, it's perfect, right? Talk about direct communication.
This single publication popularized home worm composting for the everyday person, pulling the science right out of the lab and straight into our kitchens.
Then, as we moved into the late 20th century, we basically took Appelhof's home methods and scaled them way up. This era saw the development of massive, highly efficient, large-scale waste processing systems known as continuous flow-through, or CFT, machines.
Which brings us to today. Vermiculture is now used worldwide for serious, large-scale waste management. We're mass-producing this incredibly nutrient-rich vermicompost, and crucially, this eco-friendly process is now actively supported by various government initiatives around the globe. We have finally circled back to the wisdom of the ancients, just upgraded with modern engineering.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. If an ancient, unseen worm can literally transform our global waste into life-sustaining soil, what other natural bioreactors are we completely ignoring? It truly makes you ponder the massive, untapped potential of nature that might just be sitting right in front of us. Thank you so much for diving into the living alchemy of vermiculture with me today, and hey, keep looking closely at the natural world around you.